If you have ever said that I'll eat well, I move, and the weight still won't come off, stop. Stay with me for a few moments here because I'm about to tell you the thing that you have been waiting for someone to say out loud. The reason it won't come off is not a discipline problem and not that you need another nutrition plan, another movement plan, a new personal trainer, a new nutritionist, right? It's that you don't need to want it more. Your body is actually doing what has been chemically, biologically set up to do. And I'm going to prove it to you using this morning your own 3 p.m. crash and your cravings, right? That is what could be happening to you. Are you the type of person whose blood sugar has never been addressed? And those are two completely different people with two completely different futures, right? Meaning the 3 p.m. crash and then the sugar cravings. Hi, I'm Dr. Holly Donahue, and I am a New Hampshire-based licensed board-certified naturopathic doctor, and I have been treating patients for well over 20 years. And in the next 20 to 30 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what's been running your show. So let's go, shall we? So before I say anything else, I want to say the thing that you've probably been waiting for someone to say. Again, the weight won't come off is not a discipline problem. It's not that you eat too much or that you don't try hard enough or that you just need to want it more. The truth is that your body is giving you signals and doing exactly what it's meant to do. Because here's what's super crazy. You've probably been doing everything right. You're shortening your calories, you're cutting portions, you're moving your body more, walking more, running more, whatever your mode of exercise is. And maybe the scale moved just a little, but then it stopped and you're living by that number on the scale. Or maybe it went back up again. We're trained with that number on the scale, and it's so sad. And maybe somewhere along the way, you started quietly to believe that the problem was actually you. And right here, I want to let you know and get rid of that belief today because it's not the accurate way for you to think about the body. Stubborn weight is almost always hormonal, unless you're eating more calories than you're burning off. And the very center of this, underneath the thyroid, underneath the cortisol, and underneath all of this, is your blood sugar and how you're balancing it and how your body is dancing with it. It's not sugar the way that you're picturing it right now. But I'm going to really redefine that today in about 2 minutes, and it's going to be a reframe for your whole day. That's my goal. Okay. What's really driving the weight? How to know for actual certainty it's happening in you, and why this is more urgent than any number on the scale, any size of your pants or dress or shirt, right? So it's like I want to clear up the biggest single myth is what I want to say first, because it's probably one that's getting you stuck. What happens in your brain when I say sugar? I bet your brain goes right to chocolate and dessert, that candy bar, that fancy chocolate shop that everybody's now going to. And at least half of you just thought, well, that's not me. I really don't eat sweets. I don't indulge in that because I know it's not good for me. I know that it will keep the weight on. So stay with me just a minute because here's what nobody is probably explaining to you. Your body doesn't only see sugar as sugar. Your body sees bread as sugar, rice as sugar, pasta, even if you're eating good quality rice crackers, quality spelt cereal, and that healthy granola, that's all sugar to your body. It sees the bagels, those pretzels, the potato chips, tortilla, all sugar. That oat milk latte that you could have had this morning, because you're doing a good job, you're replacing milk with oat, right? To your bloodstream, it's like a glass of sugar with a shot of espresso in it. And here's the one nobody wants to hear. And I'm just going to really say it kindly, especially as we're moving through the summer months. Can't believe we're into August 21. Alcohol, which maybe many of you have enjoyed. You're a little bit freer in the summer. You're out on the lake, on the ocean, and the boats and the hiking, and that's your benefit. That's your treat. And yes, even wine. This behaves like sugar in your body as well. So when a woman tells me, Dr. Donahue, I swear, honestly, I'm running through my mind, I don't eat many sweets. I believe you, and I believe her. And she still very often has a serious sugar problem because it was never coming from the chocolate cake, the candy. It was never coming from that. Here's what's actually happening, and this is how I describe it in my clinic. Every time you eat those foods, your sugar is going to spike fast, and your body does not like a sugar spike. So it sends out a hormone called insulin from your pancreas to pull that sugar down out of your blood. But insulin has a second job most people have never been told. It's also your fat storage hormone when your body has enough sugar. So when your insulin is high, your body is chemically locked in storage mode. It literally cannot burn fat when your insulin is elevated. It's like trying to drain this bathtub and the faucet keeps running. So you can eat less. You can actually even move more. All you want. But nobody's told you that if your insulin keeps getting spiked all day long, the fat is going to stay locked in. Does that make sense? Your body's just doing and creating the signal that you're giving it. But then when the spike actually becomes a crash, like your blood sugar goes up and then drops down, the insulin does its job a little too well. Your blood sugar drops below where it started. And guess what that does to your body? It panics it. And then it screams for that fastest fuel it can find. Guess what that is? It is more sugar, more carbs, more caffeine. So you eat it. And then you spike again and you crash again. So it's like you're up, you crash, you crave, you repeat. That is the blood sugar roller coaster ride, and most of you have been strapped into it all day, every day for years. You just didn't realize it because nobody stopped to tell you. This is not about being someone with no self-control. This is about being someone whose body has been quietly running on a fuel source that keeps it locked in storage mode. It's not a character flaw. You're not doing anything wrong. It's the biochemistry and again, the messages and the signals that you're giving your body. And the beautiful piece is that I'm here to share with you is that it can be corrected. It's not that you're not disciplined. It's not that you're weak and you lean into those cravings. Right now, you are wired in a pattern that we can change. If you notice, we've been talking about the system and how your body runs, the spike, the insulin storage, and then the crash. But I haven't talked at all about what to eat and what order Or what actually can get your insulin down? Or have you actually even have it tested? So you keep it there. That's the how. And it stands behind the curtain, like I used to say. The goal here is what I really want you to hear is, oh my gosh, that's what's been happening to me. That's the aha, right? Think about that for a minute. Your symptoms and your lack of weight loss and your lack of energy are just proof that your body keeps doing the same thing over and over. Now, how do you know for sure this is you and not just a theory that I'm creating? You don't need a lab right now, but it's good to have. Your body has been sending you these signals for years. You were just never taught how to read them. So let's walk through an ordinary day for you. I would get a piece of paper whenever I join a live and I want to know what's going on. I get a piece of paper. And I want you to tally how many of these are you. Okay. Are we ready? Okay. So, are you waking up in the morning and you have to eat almost immediately? Like, if you feel like you don't get that food in fast, you feel shaky, you feel irritable, emotional. You can even maybe have nausea or even feel lightheaded. Here's what your body's saying to you. Your blood sugar it crashed overnight. Does that make sense? And your body has been running on fumes, and your cortisol has probably been being pumped. However, when you have a healthy, flexible metabolism, you can actually wake up and glide for hours in the morning without falling apart. If you said, yes, I woke up and I need to eat immediately, that's not you yet. Yet, that's the key. It's not related to your personality. Do you need coffee or green tea just to become a functional human in the morning? I'm not anti-coffee. I'm not anti-green tea or caffeine. But if you truly cannot start your day without it, that's not a preference. That's your body. Are you ready for this? Borrowing energy that it doesn't actually have. Borrowing energy that it doesn't actually have because it can't get its own fuel. Then if we start to look at there's that afternoon crash, 2, 3 o'clock or so, where you start to want to fall asleep, your eyes get heavy, you can't think or focus, you're trying to get a word, the cognition, you're just like, oh, I just need a nap. And you would give yourself everything you've got to go lie down. Or another one is you find yourself in the kitchen if you're working from home as a high performer, or you're standing in front of, gosh, I hate these, but a vending machine, hunting for something sweet or something with caffeine or something that will give you the energy. You know why you're crashing? Because you spiked sugar at lunch. Your body released too much insulin. It's almost like it overshot it into the system, and your blood sugar fell through the floor on schedule. It's not predictable. You could set a clock by it because it's chemistry. Again, it's not your fault. It's not a character flaw. And those cravings, the ones that feel bigger than you are, the ones where you promise yourself, I'm not going to eat any sugar. I'm not going to need a snack after dinner because I'm going to eat a really good balanced dinner. And at 8 p.m., you find yourself in the pantry looking around. I need you to hear this. A craving is not a failure. It's not a moral failure. It is a signal, a symptom, exactly the way a fever is a symptom of an infection. When your blood sugar is dropping, your brain is biologically wired to demand fast fuel. That's not a weakness, you guys. Does that make sense? That is actually survival mode that you're signaling. You have been white knuckling against your own biology. And then you look in the mirror, you weigh yourself on the scale and you blame yourself. Of course you're going to lose. Willpower was never going to beat a hormone in the messages in your body. So let's count up what we just talked about. There's morning hunger or shakiness. There's coffee to function. There's the afternoon crash. That nap that you just cannot wait to, like, you'll do anything for that nap. And the cravings that completely feel out of your control. That wine at night that's going to relax you and then it wrecks your sleep. If you just recognize three or more of these, I want you to sit up because this is not random and it's not a personality trait. This is a pattern. A pattern has a name and the pattern is reversible. But, and this really matters. So listen, it only reverses when we stop treating the symptoms one by one and we start fixing what's underneath all of them. You are not somebody who just loves carbs or just isn't a morning person or someone whose blood sugar has been dysregulated for years just because. That's completely different and it's completely flexible. The story then, the one you've been telling yourself, gets to change. The reason why this is urgent, it was never really about the weight. That's the data point you're using. But here's the part that I need you to take really seriously because this is where it stops being about genes and about your future health. That same blood sugar, that same blood sugar roller coaster ride that's been holding on to your weight, that is the one ramp to insulin resistance. And insulin resistance is the roadmap to type 2 diabetes. But it doesn't need to start there. It starts years and sometimes even decades before a doctor says the word diabetes or prediabetes to you. Scary, right? And here's the one that stops everybody in their tracks, just like yesterday, a mother and daughter at my clinic. Unfortunately, we had to talk about type 3 diabetes. And researchers now, and Europe has been talking about it for years, Alzheimer's is type 3 diabetes because it is so tightly linked to how your brain handles blood sugar and insulin. Read that again. It's the same link that sugar has that reaction on your brain and your insulin. That same dysregulation you're feeling as an afternoon crash today. Over years, that same process being studied in cognitive decline. So when I tell you your health is urgent, I am not here to scare you. I'm here to heal you. I'm telling you the weight is the visible symptom. But what is happening underneath is quietly touching your energy, your hormones, your mood, your brain, and your entire life and those around you. The good news is that right now, today, the window, you can turn it around. You can turn it around. If you need support to turn that around, I created a pattern hormone quiz. My team will drop the link in the chat. Take the quiz. Figure out what your archetype is because it's going to help you. You don't have to live like this. So if you want the proof black and white, here's what I want you to look at. Get labs completed. I'd write these down. 100% fasting glucose. That tells me right here, right now, what is your blood sugar doing? Hemoglobin A1C. That's what it's called. That is your 3-month blood sugar storage average. What's been happening over the last 3 months? If yours is creeping up to 5.5, 5.5, sorry, 5.4, 5.5, or even higher, your body has been riding that high blood sugar far longer than you've even felt it. And when we're looking at fasting glucose, a high morning number and fasting number is your body waving this flag at you. This is the last one that nobody seems to test. They tell me it's too pulsatile. I don't agree. Fasting insulin. And here's why that last number matters so much is because your insulin begins to climb for years, sometimes 10, 15 years before your glucose or your hemoglobin A1C were ever off. Your body begins to compensate by pumping out more and more insulin to hold the line so that your standard labs still come back normal. But I know you in your heart, you know there's something off. But your doctor's telling you you're fine. Well, behind the scenes and inside your body, you're already deep in insulin resistance and hypoglycemia, and you're locked into fat storage mode. So if you've never once had your insulin tested, that alone should get your full attention. Because you could be in the thick of this with a completely normal lab report in your hand. Now, if you're seeing these numbers and you have them in front of you, please don't panic. That's not my goal. Healing is my goal. The goal is to catch that window where you're at and then create a handful of targeted specific changes that you can create. That's the whole trajectory of healing. That's the part that works. And it's very different from the generic, just eat less sugar, just eat less calories, work out more. No, eat more calories, work out more, eat less calories, work out less. You've got to get your hormonal pattern in check. You've got to be the person who catches this early. And if you haven't, that's okay as well. But you want to take action before you have a massive chronic disease. I don't want you to be the person who has waited until it had a name and a prescription. The person that begins to be forgetful as you go through perimenopause and menopause. Again, take my hormone quiz, learn your archetype, learn your hormone pattern so that we can support you. Know where you're at. That's the key to healing. If you can't lose weight, you're exhausted. You've lowered your standard for your health and you just keep going, please stop. Because who's it is affecting? Everybody around you and more you. You're not meant to be on this earth exhausted. So I really want to land this. I showed you 3 things as I sum it. The stubborn weight is a blood sugar and an insulin problem. It's not a willpower problem. Your mornings, your crashes, and your cravings have been symptoms that you can now read. And that acting, it now protects a whole lot more than just your waistline. I gave you the what today, but you don't have the how. Because here's what I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you the specific order to eat your food and what to eat in your nutrition plan and how to move. I didn't talk about what foods actually flatten your spike before it happens. The order of food matters. So does the type of food, which is really the part that shocks people. There are so many healthy foods that you're eating every single day that are keeping your insulin spiked. And then you're sitting here saying, Dr. Donahue, honestly, I'm doing everything right. I didn't tell you why your 2 p.m. crash is actually fixable in a matter of days once you know the trigger. Or the one simple thing to check first in the morning that tells you whether today is a fat burning day or a fat storing day before you've even eaten. That's the how. That piece changes everything. Click the link on this page and take the hormone quiz. Learn what your hormone pattern is and what your archetype is. And that's when you start to get to the fixable moment of fixing your health because everybody's different. You are unique, your genes are unique, and your treatment plan should be unique. So if something in here made you go, oh my goodness, this is me, don't let this just be another interesting video that you watched. Stay close to me. Click the link and do the hormone quiz. Keep learning. Because guess what? I'm here to keep pulling back that curtain that we talked about, piece by piece. And those people that are within my community and follow along, your bodies are going to actually change. Your health is 100% urgent. It's not a someday. I'll start Monday. I'll start after the summer is over. I'll start after Labor Day and the kids go back to school. I'll start after I close off quarter 3. No, no, no. Come with me and let me show you the part I didn't show you today. Click the link on this page and take the hormone quiz, or click the link in the chat. And if this was the aha, the here's how is around the corner. Your health should not wait. So don't let it wait.